Good morning, everyone. Today I will talk about a social shaker, Thomas More, and his very famous book, Utopia. Thomas More was born in Mill Street in London on 7 February 1478. He was the son of Sir John More, a successful lawyer and later become a judge. From 1490 to 1492, More served John Morton, the Lord Chancellor of England, and Morton saw that More had great potential, so he nominated More for a place at the University of Oxford. But after 2 years of studying, his father wanted him to become a lawyer as he was, so More was sent to study at Lincoln's Inn until 1502. More once seriously considered abandoning his legal career to become a monk. Between 1503 and 1504, More lived outside the walls of London and joined in the monks' spiritual exercises. Although he deeply admired their piety, More ultimately decided to remain a layman, standing for election to Parliament in 1504 and marrying the following year. In 1504, More was elected to Parliament to represent Greymouth, and in 1510 he began representing London. From 1510 he became secretary and personal advisor to King Henry VIII. More became increasingly influential. He welcomed foreign diplomats, drafted official documents, and served as a liaison between the king and Lord Chancellor Wolsey. Utopia was written in Latin and published in 1516, and it is said to be Thomas More's most influential work. The word Utopia is derived from the Greek prefix "u", meaning not, and topos, meaning place, so the name literally means nowhere, to emphasize its fictionality. Utopia is a work of satire, indirectly criticizing Europe's political corruption and religious hypocrisy. So the book is comprised of two parts. Book one is the dialogue of counsel. It's mainly about a character More wrote a letter to his friend Peter Crews to publish Utopia, and More used it to depict a dark and realistic English society. The first discussions with another character, Raffle, allow him to discuss some of the modern ills affecting Europe, such as the tendency of kings to Star Wars and the subsequent loss of money on fruitless endeavors. He also criticized the use of execution to punish thieves, saying thieves might as well murder whom they rob to remove witnesses if the punishment is going to be the same. The second book is about the discourse on Utopia. It's a complete description of his ideal society and all the required characteristics of a society to become Utopia. Next, I will talk about the ideal society in the view of Thomas More. Basically, it's an island, and the island contains 54 cities. Each city is divided into 4 equal parts. The capital city is called Amurath. It's located directly in the middle of the crescent island. Each city has not more than 6,000 households, each family consisting of between 10 and 16 adults. 30 households are grouped together and elected a Shiphocrates, and every 10 Shiphocrates have an elected Triniboros ruling over them. The 200 Shiphocrates of a city elect a prince in a secret election, and the prince stays for life unless he is disposed or removed for suspicion of tyranny. People are redistributed around the households and towns to keep numbers even. If the island suffers from overpopulation, colonies are set up on the mainland. Alternatively, the natives of the mainland are invited to be part of these utopian colonies, but if they dislike them and no longer wish to stay, they may return. In the case of underpopulation, the colonists are recalled. Noticeably, there is no private property on Utopia. Goods are stored in warehouses and people request what they need. And there are also no locks on the doors of the houses, and the houses are rotated between the citizens every 10 years. Importantly, agriculture provides the most important occupation on the island. Every person is taught agriculture and must live in the countryside, farming for 2 years at a time, with women doing the same work as men. And parallel to this, every citizen must learn at least one of the other essential trades. For example, like weaving, and it's mainly done by the woman, carpentry, and metalsmithing. Next, more Max is clearly Utopia is meant to be his ideal vision for England. Both societies are governed by the force of law. Every member of these societies is required to obey the laws and face punishment if they violate. Utopia and England have a few additional similarities worth mentioning as well. For instance, England and Utopia are both islands. The capital of Utopia is Amoriton, which has a river that passes through it. This river has identical ties and bridges to the Thames River in England. England and Utopia are governed by custom. In England, common law is that custom. Unlike common law, Utopia custom offers a means of dominating other nations. Especially, Thomas More wanted to unify his Catholic Church. He promoted civic peace by supporting religious freedom in his literature. More developed a plan that would manage church-state relations. Religious freedom for Christians was favored by More when he was writing Utopia. Utopian religious freedom was designed to serve as a model for Europe. The founder of Utopia is called Utopus, was therefore a plans made to religious authority. After he seized power, he banned all religious political conflict and political dangerous forms of religion. He required all Utopians to follow religions that promoted virtue. Well, however, there are countless contradictions and unjust rules on the island. An average day in Utopia is set up on a schedule with bedtime at 8 p.m. Community members are given one article of clothing every 2 years, so consequently, fashion does not exist and eliminates a major form of self-expression. Atheists are despised on the island. Furthermore, Utopians are obligated to obtain a special passport to travel within their own country, um, and they do not have complete freedom to travel. Through his book Utopia, Thomas More has a great influence on society. More has become known as the father of the utopian novel. More's Utopia was a blueprint for utopian literature. His book lended each artist a large landscape for them to develop their perfect societies. The genre of utopian literature is based mainly on society and the question, what is the structure of society currently? How could this structure be improved upon? Can society be improved at all? As with his creation of the utopian genre, More was also responsible for the subgenre. It's called anti-utopian literature. The anti-utopian novel has become more popular in the recent past. The most famous anti-utopian novels being Brave New World by Aldous Huxley and 1984 by George Orwell. These novels present societies that have become corrupted to the point they no longer resemble the author's related societies. Instead of developing a society where the social structure has been improved upon, they rely on the degeneration of society to the peak. The anti-utopian novel does not offer methods of improvement like the utopian novel. Thomas More's writing of Utopia changed the face of literature in many ways. It gave authors a new way to express their ideals. It also spawned, or at least facilitated, the movement of literature from pure entertainment to realistic portrayals of society and social concerns in writers. After More, it was acceptable, if not ideal, that literature comes with a message. Such works have had wondrous impact on society in general, as well as improving in innumerable individual lives. So that's all of presentation about Thomas More and his book Utopia. Thank you for your listening. If you have any question, write them down in on Moodle. Thank you.